Hi. Some of my friends have asked me to demonstrate basic pour painting. There are a ton of videos on YouTube. I don't know why this one would be any better, but everybody learns differently. So this is something I started about a year ago, and I really enjoy it. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Everybody's art looks different, which is awesome. And there's some basics that will help if you want to start. This is not an expensive hobby. Most everything you can get pretty inexpensively, and I'm just going to start by showing you some of the stuff that I use. Dollar store cups. If you want to really practice, you're going to need a lot of canvases, which aren't very expensive actually. You can get at Hobby Lobby, for example, you can get their economy pack of 8x10s, 10 of them for $10. You cannot use your 40% coupon on that, so just know that because it's already discounted. However, that's a pretty good price for canvases. I also like to use a metal tray for small canvases. For bigger canvases, you're going to need a bigger area. Most important thing is this is super messy. So you're going to need to prepare your space. Here I just use like a butcher paper over my my pouring table. Gloves, don't be like me. Don't get your hands super filthy by not using gloves. So again, you can buy boxes of gloves at a restaurant supply store for not very expensive. I bought this little spreader at Hobby Lobby, actually in the baking section, but any kind of spatula for spreading things flat will do. Paper towels. And so the thing that you're wanting to create is a painting that kind of does what it does. If you're got a little bit of a control freak, this is equal parts exhilarating and terrifying. But we want the paint to be at a viscosity that it will pour and it will spread. So you're not going to be able to use paint right out of the bottle or tube. Here are some paints that I use, and they are different brands, but they are in the same price range. So Master's Touch is from Hobby Lobby. It's their brand, and it runs, the big one's about $5.99, $4.99, $5.99, and then for the smaller ones, I think $3.99. At Michael's, they have the Deco Art, which is really awesome if you don't need a lot of paint, and they're roughly $3.99, and they have some wonderful hues. And then their Artist Loft is in their fine art section, about the same price. This one might be $4.99, and then their larger ones I think are $6 or $7.99. But it goes a long way simply because you are going to use a pouring medium to make it viscous. So here's the pouring medium I use, and you can get this in smaller bottles. I just do a lot of pour painting. It's at Hobby Lobby in my area. It's about $15 for a gallon. You can get, like I said, smaller bottles for about half of that. So it's actually a better deal to get the gallon. Also, you can get it at Home Depot and Lowe's both have these. It makes a great pouring medium. So different people use different combinations, different recipes or formulas for getting their paint the way they want it. 1 part paint, 2 parts pouring medium, and then a little bit of water depending on the size of your cups that you're mixing your paints in. You're going to mix your paints individually, and you can see here that I've done that. You're always going to use a lot of white. So I put white in mixed bottles. Sometimes if I'm doing bigger things, I'll put the other colors in them as well. But you're going to mix them individually. Again, dollar store paint sticks or craft sticks, we used to call them popsicle sticks, are a great way to stir the paint that you need. Also, little tacks. On the bigger canvases, I use big tacks. On a smaller canvas like this, a little tack is fine, but what you're trying to do is raise your canvas up off of the tray on which you will be pouring. So you've got your paint, you've got your pouring medium. Here's your secret ingredient to getting those really great, what we call cells, those places where colors will open up into these circles and they'll kind of pop up. You can use a lot of different pouring medium or a lot of different silicone, but basically what you're looking for is a silicone mix. Probably not WD-40. There's actually not enough silicone in it to be really helpful. treadmill oil is really great. This is one that I use that is simply a hair serum. It smells like coconut, so handy dandy. But it works really well. And you're just gonna use a couple of drops in there. You don't want a lot. So as I start, let me just say that white, your titanium white, is a very heavy paint. It's always kind of go to the bottom of your cup. So I start out with it on the bottom. And then we're gonna kind of layer our paints as we go. The important consistency that you're looking for in a pour painting pour is a constant stream of paint. So you're gonna want it to look like warm honey. So it doesn't matter whether you use, what pouring mediums you use, you're looking for warm honey. You're looking for a constant stream of paint that's gonna flow well. So I use 1 part paint to 2 parts pouring medium, and then a little water just to continue to thin it until I've got that constant stream, that warm honey consistency. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put paint in this cup, and then I'm gonna just layer it. Here I'm gonna add a couple of drops of the silicone, and we do not want to over stir. I'm just gonna stir it enough that I know it's swirling into the paint. And we're gonna do this with each of our 3 colors. There's already some in that aqua. But I've got cerulean, primary cyan, ultra blue, and aqua. And those I'm gonna swirl, as I said, very, very gently. You do not want a lot of swirling. The more you swirl, the smaller the cells. We want nice big cells. All right, and I'm already breaking my rule because I'm not using gloves. So, as we pour, we're gonna pour, like I said, a little white. And then we're gonna pour some of our ultramarine. And then the cyan, other cerulean, and I'm gonna add the aqua. And depending, there's really no, I mean, some people are gonna get super scientific about this. I just don't. More white. The more white we put, the more white they'll be, the lighter the colors will turn out. So you would definitely, there is a learning curve. You're just gonna have to learn as you go. Some people pour right straight down. Some people pour round and round. I honestly haven't found any way that does anything so different that I stick to one way to do it. All right, so now we've got our cup and we've got our canvas ready, and I was a good girl and put on my gloves. So the canvases are supposed to be pre-gessoed, and it's supposed to keep our paint from not adhering to the canvas. But just to be on the safe side, I like to put some white paint without the silicone in it in and all around the surface of the canvas. So I'm just working it into the corners. Like to be really fussy, so I like to get the corners too. So I've put white paint all the way around, and now we're ready. Something I should mention that's super important to this medium is a level pouring surface. In fact, in my regular painting area, I actually have a level, and I really want to make sure that my surface is level as possible, because what's going to happen, our paint is going to pour, it's going to spread, and I have more than once walked into a room pretty disappointed that where I had been pouring, my paint had gone off one corner, so we don't want that. So this is the flip cup method, which is pretty much what it sounds like. We're gonna put our cup here, put our hand firmly on the canvas. And then we're going to put the canvas back down in our pour area, and we're going to wait for a little bit. We want to let that white hopefully come down through the levels and mix in really good with the other paints. While it's doing that, I'm going to put some more white around our cup. So you can see that it appears that there is a lot of waste to this. And I'm going to show you something when I'm done that hopefully will convince you that it's not wasted. All right, so some people poke a hole in their cups. This is a pretty hard plastic, so we're not going to do that. So as I pull this away, you'll see the paint starting to spread. And some people use a blow dryer at this point to pop the bubbles. I'm not going to do that here today, but just know that once you pull this away, you can use a blow dryer on low, if you get really fancy, a kitchen torch to help the bubbles pop. But here we go. And I'm just going to tap the edge of the cup on the corners. The corners are usually the last things to get covered, and it's already going to go off the side. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the excess from the cup off on the corners. Okay, so here's where it can get kind of fun, is we want to actually tip our canvas. And we want to do that so that we can see these amazing cells open up. And we actually want the paint to come down the sides of our canvas. We want to make sure that the whole canvas is covered. I actually like to hang these without a frame. So we've got actually this three-dimensional, lovely three-dimensional effect that comes off the edges of the canvas. So I'm going to leave this one. I'm not going to do too much more because I don't want to lose all this great stuff. But I'll move it a little bit this way. This is the hardest part about this medium, is knowing when to say when. So I'm going to go ahead and call this good. Okay, so we have our canvas. And I told you that I would tell you why the paint that's come off into this little collection tray is not wasted. I'm actually wearing a piece of jewelry that I made using what we call the skins, the dried paint that is left in the bottom of your tray. And you can make all kinds of jewelry out of it. The supplies come from places like Hobby Lobby, just a little bit. Mostly Amazon and other online places will have the cabochons and the bezels, and you can just create wonderful, wonderful pieces of individual art using the dried paint that would otherwise have been thrown away. So I'm going to show you a couple of different paintings that I've done. This one was done in the same color palette. You can see here that I just didn't use as much white. I've also had some amazing things happen with leftover paint from different projects. I just love the colors in this one. Here's just a different color palette. We have pinks and oranges, fuchsias, and then we have some different techniques. So this is a drag. So you're going to do the same flip on your canvas, but then you're going to want all this negative space. So you're going to just tip a little bit, all the way across until you get a design that you like. And then using a straw or something else, you can blow out these beautiful tendrils. I just love this one. Then there are the swipes, ribbons of color, and then a wet paper towel or some other instrument is used to drag the colors across. And you can do those in bright colors or something that's a lot more subtle. These are just a few examples. And just lately I've been trying to approximate actual things, and this is my negative space drag that's supposed to look like an elephant. So there's really no end to things that you can do. And I hope that if you have any questions, you can get a hold of me, can comment or ask me questions. I'm a beginner, but these are some things that helped me as I got started. So thanks again for watching.